Ellen White. Ellen White's view of women's role in the church. The Lord designs that the school should also be a place where a training may be gained in women's work. After enumerating certain domestic and educational trainings to be included, she adds they are to be qualified to take any position that may be offered. Superintendents, Sabbath school teachers, Bible workers, they must be prepared to teach day schools for children. She saw an important mission for women. Wonderful is the mission of the wives and mothers and the younger woman workers. If they will, they can exert an influence for good to all around them. By modesty in dress and circumspect deportment, they may bear witness to the truth in its simplicity. They may let their light so shine before all that others will see their good works and glorify their Father which is in heaven. A truly converted woman will exert a powerful transforming influence for good. Connected with her husband, she may aid him in his work and become the means of encouragement and blessing to him. When the will and way are brought into subjection to the Spirit of God, there is no limit to the good that can be accomplished. While there is surely an emphasis on a husband-wife ministry here, single women, the younger woman workers are also included. The type of work is not here to designate, but should surely include the various lines of work Miss White specified that we have noted before. With modesty and propriety, women may let their light shine and may exert a limitless influence for good. Such will be the effect when the will and way are brought into subjection to God, working within one's own sphere. Yet Miss White noted that not all would be willing to live in subjection to God. From our first parents, both men and women have shown that they have been unwilling to do so. Though the issue in the following passage is not specifically the role relation of men and women in the church, perhaps the principles may find some application there. Eve had been perfectly happy by her husband's side in her Eden home, but like restless modern Eves, she was flattered with the hope of entering a higher sphere than that which God had assigned her. In hoping to rise above her original position, she fell far below it. A similar result will be reached by all who are unwilling to take up cheerfully their duties in accordance with God's plan. In the efforts to reach positions for which He has not fitted them, many are leaving vacant the place where they might be a blessing. In their desire for a higher sphere, many have sacrificed true womanly dignity and nobility of character and have left undone the very work that heaven appointed them. Clearly, it is important in her view to operate within the sphere that God has assigned for our own happiness, nobility, and effectiveness. Defining the spare is, of course, what this whole discussion is about in our church. While Ellen White will have some things to say that will help us sort matters out, she would be the first to say that we should go to the Bible for guidance in the matter of the role relationships of men and women. The scriptures are plain upon the relation and rights of men and women. Respect for role distinction. She would also remind us of the dangers of imbibing the spirit of the times when that is out of harmony with our scriptural duty. The statement just quoted comes from a passage that deals with a women's right movement in the 1860s. A part of that movement was an attempt to bring about much needed reform in the matter of women's dress. But the alternative proposed to the abuses of that had flourished consisted of a style that minimized the differences between the dress of men and of women. After addressing the biblical call for a clear distinction in dress, Miss White commented on the spirit that attended the women's rights movement. Those who feel called out to join the movement in favor of women's rights and the so-called dress reform might as well sever all connection with the third angel's message. The spirit which attend the one cannot be in harmony with the other. The scriptures are plain upon the relation and rights of women, men and women. Was there a spirit of disaffection, of promotion of self, in the assertion of one's rights? Is there a spirit that comes not from above and that would keep us from representing the character of Jesus, who did not think that equality was a thing to be grasped? The statement seems to warn us of such dangers. Ellen White's view of women's role in the church.